Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another Verdalia episode. In this episode, I'll be finishing off the Verdalia Grove area, which is my kids' area in this park. And in this video, I will be building the interior of the restaurant that I started building in the last episode. I'll also be building the station for the Wild Mouse coaster, and I will be adding a whole lot of decorations to the flat rides, as you can see in this little scene right here. This is just one of the rides. So yeah, I know it's been like a month since the last Verdalia episode, so I apologize about that. This episode has been kind of taking a while for me to like voiceover and all the stuff. It's been taking a while and I've been a little bit busy, so I apologize for that. But anyway, let's get into the video. So continuing off on the last video where I was building the exterior of the restaurant, now I'm building the interior. So basically for this interior, I'm taking a lot of inspiration from the Rainforest Cafe and the way it has everything set up and the kind of way it looks. I thought it looks really nice, so I want that like nature aesthetic inside because I thought it'd be cool and it would match the Verdalia vibe. I hate saying vibe because I say it so much. Oh my god, I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, yeah, I thought it'd be a cool thing to have inside, and I want to include like a bunch of vines because I don't know. I think it's just cool to have like nature inside, where it's like not supposed to be. I don't know. I feel like going forward into the development of this park, I kind of have to decide the layout of the building according to how many tables I want there to be, because every single time I built a restaurant so far, I think I don't match the ratios of how big the tables are and how much space they're going to take, and I end up just having to cram in tables where I can, and I feel like I need to start fixing that in the future. So yeah, something to think about. Either way, every time I built a restaurant, I've somehow managed to fit the seating in, so maybe it's fine, I don't know. Like this time, I managed to fit a lot of seats, so I guess it's fine. So basically my idea for this is I want a bunch of pillars coming from the roof onto the floor where the booths are, and I want to have vines that are hanging down on each of these poles, just to have a nature touch. I'm using these vines in the context of they're fake vines, because realistically you're not gonna have real vines inside of a building where there's no sunlight. I mean, there's sunlight, but not enough nearly to have a plant survive. So yeah, so basically these plants that I'm using, I'm gonna consider them fake. They're plastic plants, but it's just for the look, here I decided to build another building at the exit of the wooden coaster, and I decided to make it because I wanted the ride to have on-ride photos that you can buy after you get off the ride. So yeah, I feel like this building really filled the area really nicely, and I like the way it looks, so y'all see. And if y'all are wondering, yes, I will be adding on-ride photos to FireFlight as well, but that will be at the end of the video because I built it afterwards. I didn't think about doing it while I was building this area, so I kind of just added it onto the video. But yes, I will be doing that. I won't be doing it for the Wild Mouse though, because I feel like at these types of parks you don't really see the on-ride photos being used on the kids rides. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that. Do you think I should add them or nah? I have to mention how much I love the on-ride photo feature, especially the camera feature specifically on the rides. Being able to place the camera and it showing the excitement level at that specific area, that is such an amazing feature. I don't know if I've ever said that. I think this is the first time I used the on-ride photos in a video, so yeah. Just one amazing decision by the developers. Thank you, Frontier. That's such a good feature. So as soon as I'm done with the ride photo building, I start moving on to the sign for the restaurant, and I decided to name it Grove Diner because it is the restaurant of the area. I thought it was a cool little name. Here I decided to give the restaurant counter a little bit of an upgrade because it was kind of bare before. So then I kind of just spammed a bunch of these wooden pillars, and I feel like it matched the little wooden feel that I'm going for this restaurant. So here I'm basically adding everything that I feel like the restaurant needs, all the little details. And as soon as I'm done with that, I decide to work on the station for the Wild Mouse coaster. This station was actually pretty tricky because I know I wanted it to be colorful because it's a kids ride and all kids rides have to be colorful, you know, to engage children. But I wasn't sure how to exactly make it match with the buildings right next to it for the other coaster. So I decided to kind of go for this like muted but also colorful design of the station, and I feel like that kind of helped with the matching of the other buildings. And by the way, the other buildings are kind of relatively normal because I am preparing for the transition outside of this area, so I don't want it to be like, oh, everything's colorful, candy everywhere, and then immediately just straight back to like the cottagecore vibe. I want it to like smoothly gradual, so that's why the buildings of the wooden coaster are kind of more my normal style for this park. I know I said it'd be colorful, and I'm building it with normal wood colors right now, but eventually I'll add color to it, don't worry. Now that I look at it now after I've already finished building it and I've already made it colorful, I kind of liked the way this kind of looked right now. This like weird rustic but like old looking wooden. I actually really like it, so I might use this kind of style in another build, but yeah, it'll turn colorful at some point. So as you can see, I gave this coaster a pretty basic name, but of course, you know, every every theme park has a crazy mouse, so I had to name it Crazy Mouse. And I kind of like this sign because I kind of made it bigger and I duplicated it on each side, and it kind of just made it look like it had a blue border, and I really like that style. And this is actually what triggered the idea for me to color the actual building colorful. And also I decided to add some weird little cheese thingies on the building because I felt like it would match the mouse. You know, this mouse, they obviously like their cheese, so I had to add it. Then, since I hate it when real life parks don't have any shade and I sweat to death, I added this over the top of the Crazy Mouse queue. Just because I don't want you know, kids crying because they're insanely hot in the sun. Then I decided to kind of add a design to the existing sign, and I decided to make it a mouse. And I'm oddly proud of the way that it came out because it looks so like goofy, and you'll see it once it's done. I decided to give him a little raised eyebrow just for some curiosity, because who knows, it's gonna be a wild ride, you know? See, look at that rat. It looks so goofy, but I feel like it fits the ride because I don't know, it's supposed to be a crazy goofy ride. But yeah, I thought it fit. Then after that, I decided to add even more details to the station of the Crazy Mouse ride. Honestly, thank God for the fairy tale pack to come out when it did, because I would not have known what type of fence to use for this. I just felt like this fence matched so perfectly with like the kitty vibe that I was trying to do, and I love the way like the different colors it offers. It's very nice. Then I decided to add these, once again, fairy tale fences because I felt like they actually went really well with the kitty theme. And yeah, I wanted them to be different from the other fences because I didn't want to use the super colorful ones too much. But yeah, I thought they looked cool. Then I decided to work on the pergolas more because I felt like they needed more attention, and I kind of wanted to cover the entire queue because, you know, it's a kids ride. I don't want the kids to suffer in the sun. And just because I felt like this place kind of felt a little bit flat in the way that the path was designed, I decided to do kind of like a squiggly that went across at the end of this area. And I decided to change the color, or like the texture of the path on either side of the curve, just to add like a bit more texture, I guess. This texture I already used on the lower level, and I feel like on the upper level it doesn't really match very well. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like too much is going on. Don't worry, I ended up changing it later on to another texture, you'll see. Anyway, here is where I get started on the Carnival game building, which will have six more Carnival games than the ones that are currently existing. And yeah, I guess y'all will see which ones those are. Honestly, this building was insanely hard to put a roof on because I had to like match it up with the curve. So then I used like the individual pieces of the roof, and oh my god, it was torture. But oh my god, can't speak. It ended up working out pretty well. But yeah, I ended up using that process for all of the corners, and then I decided to change the color to this blue color because I felt like it stayed colorful, but it also matched really well with the restaurant, like the normal wooden type of thing. You know, it just matches. So yeah, I ended up dividing this into 6 different areas because the building was actually pretty big, bigger than I thought it would, than I thought I made it. So I decided into 6 different games, and that was kind of hard to come up with because I already previously did 6 games. I think, was it 6 or 4? I don't know. I think it was 6 games, and I already came up with a lot, and now I have to come up with even more, and it ended up working out. Don't worry about it. So basically, for the first game, I decided to make a duck pond game because I feel like I see that at every single carnival or a theme park that I go to. That's like one of the games that I always see, so I had to make it. And it was actually kind of fun to make because I got to make the little rubber duckies myself. And while it was kind of hard. I thought it was very nice. So yeah. So here I'm making the little ducks for this ride, and I'm actually so proud of how they came out, even though they're like so basic. They're like 3 pieces. I don't know, something, it just looks it looks so good. I love it. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but I'm proud of these. Okay, so here I basically start changing the color of the path on the entire top level, and I actually think this brown fit a lot better than the lighter tan brown color that it was before. I don't know, it just seems more less chaotic than the other one, so I think it matched better. And here we're starting on the next game, the second arcade game in this little area, which is going to be a basketball game. And I know this probably isn't the best location for it because the roof is so low, and I don't know how well those are gonna be able to get into the hoop, but oh well. I just put it here anyway because I needed games, and I felt like basketball was a good choice. Also, I just have to point out how amazing the new plushies are in this thing. It actually helps so much with creating these arcade games because I can actually put rewards in them, so I really like it. Thank you, Frontier. Hehe, again. For some reason, I decided to make my own basketballs here using some primitive shapes, and I mean, it wasn't very necessary, but I guess it helps with the realism. So, yeah. Now onto the next game, which I kind of don't know what the rules are for it. I just know like how it looks based off images of Google. I googled like Carnival games that are the most common, and this one is like a game where there's a bunch of stars lined up, and I guess maybe like the more stars you knock down, the more points you get, and like you get a prize or whatever. I don't know how it works, but I thought it was a cool game. Just for some extra detail on the signs, I decided that I kind of wanted to add some like 3D little thingies to each of the signs of each game because I felt like it gave it more life and more character. I don't know, I just liked it better. Now onto the fourth game, which everyone probably or should know. I decided to do darts because it's such like a classic game. I don't know, I just feel like it needed to be in the park. It needed to be one of the games, so I decided to include it. And I kind of used like a picture from Google, and I just put it onto one of the circle screens, and it actually looked really good. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. It looked pretty cool. Now for the fifth game, which is kind of where I've started running out of Carnival game ideas. I googled more, and then I found one that caught my eye, which is tic-tac-throw. And I feel like that one I don't really see anywhere, so I feel like that was a cool addition. Like, you just throw beanbags, and then that's where your X ends up going, or your O ends up going. And I like the mystery behind that. Maybe you won't hit the target, and maybe you'll lose because you miss it, you know? I think it's very fun sounding. Okay, so at this point is when I really started running out of ideas for these games. Um, but I ended up figuring out one idea, which came from my own brain because I ran out of stuff. But it's basically counting how many balls are inside of a jar, and if you end up somehow getting the right answer, which will probably change daily or something, because rumors are like the answer is going to spread around and everyone's going to get a prize. But I'll make sure it changes every day. Not actually, but you know, in the Verdalia universe, it'll change every day, and then they have to guess it, and if they get it right, they get a prize, and congrats. Then I decided to put these bulb lights all around because, first of all, I love bulb lights. They're amazing. I'll use them anywhere because I love them. But I feel like they really fit the not arcade. Why do I keep saying arcade? The Carnival game vibe. And I feel like every time I see a Carnival game, there's like bulb lights. I don't know if that's something I made up in my brain or if that's like an actual thing, but I'm pretty sure it's an actual thing. So yeah. Right here, I kind of prep the walls for this outside dining area that I'm going to put. And I kind of just put fences just because I don't want anyone crawling over. Once again, like I said in the last episode, I don't want anyone crawling over and getting hurt or whatever. But yeah, this is going to be for the dining area. And now we're kind of moving on to the more theming part of this episode, I feel like. So here I'm creating the entrance sign for the wooden coaster. And yeah, for the name of this ride of the wooden coaster, it's going to be called Woody Whirl. And I actually love that name, and I actually got it from the one and only Hash Andy Coot. And yeah, I kind of wanted to say, because I felt like I kind of just skipped past it in the first video. I was like, the memberships are there if you want to support me, and that's it. But that's not the full entire story, you know. Like, obviously the memberships come with several perks, like getting early access to my videos, photos and status updates, priority reply to comments. Oh, like member shoutouts in every video. I'm trying to think of all the other ones. I don't have a list right now. But yeah, I've already posted the list of like things that they get. So don't think that it's just something to support me, which it is, but it does come with perks in case you want to get it and support me at the same time. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because I feel like I didn't explain it enough in the last video. So yeah. So now I'm kind of almost finished with the entrance archway to this coaster, which I'm actually really proud of. I love the way it came out. I love the little tornado design, and I also included a height stick just for like the kids that get on. They have to make sure they're tall enough, you know. So yeah, I really liked the way it turned out. So now I'm moving on to the theming of whatever this flat ride is called. I kind of forgot what it's called. But for the theming of this, I kind of wanted it to be like some sort of like Mayan temple type vibe. So I used a bunch of these like mythology marble blocks just to kind of create like what seemed like a pyramid. And I kind of like that idea, and I decided to kind of make it like a temple, and I chose the theming of the Temple of the Sun. So yeah, that kind of paved the way for this whole theming of the flat ride. Also, I just want to shout out this little part right here where I put metal stuff behind the pyramid because I thought that would make it more realistic, because obviously the blocks can't just float. So yeah. To kind of add to this like temple vibe, I decided to put these like really sharp wooden not fences, they're not even fences, they're just like a bunch of logs stacked together. But I felt like it really matched like the kind of like weird, what do you call it, like prehistoric humanity kind of vibe. I don't know, it's just very oh my god, there's a word that I'm looking for, but I primal is the word that I'm looking for. It's very primal vibes. Just I'm trying to make it look as historic as possible, if that makes sense. I don't know. Now I move on to the outside dining area of the Grove Diner, which I really like the placing of because the coaster passes by right here, and I couldn't imagine eating right next, like literally like 5 feet away from the coaster passing you. That's like so cool. That would be amazing. So yeah, I decided to put it here for that reason. Here I kind of start lighting up the upper level at night, just because I kind of want to see how it looks at night. but I don't fully finish it until kind of like the end of the video, so it's kind of just like a little taste of the nighttime light. Here I decided it would be cool to add some like fun kind of theming to the Crazy Mouse coaster, and I kind of added these like weird little beams that go above you on the lift hill, and I put signs on them that say silly things just to add some like funness and kind of like goofy flair to the ride. I did kind of the same thing for the wooden coaster, like the way that the beam goes above you, but instead, well, I didn't put the fun little message thingy. Instead, I kind of just wanted to put something at the top that just seems like it's a milestone, like you're at the highest point of the ride, so I thought it'd be cool. I think someone needs to fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure on wooden coasters, sometimes the ties turn into like solid wood. And just because I kind of wanted to aim for like more realism, I decided to include that on this ride. I've seen it somewhere, but I can never find actual pictures of it for some reason. But I've seen it somewhere, and I decided to put it here. So I think it looks good. It looks realistic. So now I'm adding decorations to the rest of the flat rides, and I start off with the carousel, which I decide at first to name Sunshine Spinners, but that will change later, and that will go to another ride actually that actually matches better. But yeah, for now it's called Sunshine Spinners. Then I decided to add some decoration to the Helter Skelter, and for this idea, then shout out to my sister, aka That Zoo Girl, on YouTube and Twitch, in case you want to support her. She gave me the idea to make this kind of like a garden lattice type of thing, where like the vine is going onto the lattice and it's like going around it. I thought it was a really cool idea, so thanks to her for that. And it actually gave me something to decorate it with, and before I kind of didn't know what to decorate it. I honestly was thinking of just keeping it like the way it was, but I feel like this really matched because the vine circling around and then the slide, they slide down it going around, it matches so well. So thank you to That Zoo Girl for that. And since I wasn't done with the temple ride yet, the flat ride, I continue on and I decided to make the top of the temple have like this waterfall thing, and I thought it was a pretty cool idea. So now onto the actual coloring and theming of the actual flat ride. Now I start turning it to like red and yellow just to kind of match like the sun fire theme, and I think it was a really nice idea. I felt like it fit pretty good. Then I also decided that it'd be a really cool idea if the carts that are spinning were like stars or like the sun, and I put these like these primitive spikes on them, which we will just pretend like they're foam and they won't hurt anyone in case someone decides to run into it and get poked or something. Let's just say they're foam. They're foam, they won't hurt anyone. But yeah, they're just for the design, and I thought it was a pretty cool idea just to have like the spikes, and it's like not the solar system because it's literally just the sun, but it's like stars that are orbiting each other, and I thought it was a pretty cool idea. Now this is when I decide the name of this ride, which I decide is Lattice Twist, which that zoo girl also helped me come up with, so thank you for that. That was a pretty good name. I feel like it matched the ride very well. Then I start working on the sign for this temple ride, and now that I kind of look back at it, it kind of looks a little bit like mediocre. I'm not sure how I feel about this entrance. I might change it later on in like future episodes because it's not hidden. Not the best that I could do, I feel like, but it'll work for now. I guess. So yeah, for this ride I decided to name it Sunshine Spinner, which is originally what the carousel was supposed to be named, but I figured it matched way better with the temple sun ride, so I decided to switch the names, and I ended up naming the carousel something else, and I decided to name it the Grand Chariot, which I don't know if I just don't show it in what I recorded, or I don't know if I did it offline or something, but I ended up changing it to Grand Chariot at some point. I don't know if I showed it here. So yeah, this is pretty much where I start working on lighting up this entire upper level pretty much. Lighting up the restaurant in particular is one of my main priorities because I wanted it to be visible at all times, even at night, and like all the details, I needed them to be visible. So yeah, I had to make sure everything was lit up, and I think I did a pretty good job. Then I realized I didn't even light up the station for a Woody Whirl, so yeah, I started doing that. And also, because I didn't want the coaster just to be a silhouette at night, I decided to put a spotlight on the top of the roof, and it lit it up pretty well because I wanted it to be visible from the main path, just to kind of make it look more appealing and like, ooh, I want to get on that, like, excitement stuff. Then I decided another cool idea to get the coaster lit up, and just to kind of give it like an outline so that you know how like tall it is or whatever from the path, I decided it'd be a cool idea to line up the railings with this kind of like LED strip. And I feel like it added like a cool little fun, I don't know, a little fun flair to the ride. I just really like the way it looked and the vibe it gave off. I feel like usually it's carnivals that do that, and I like the carnival vibe of this little kids area. I think it's really nice. Then I decided, since the view of this coaster from the main street is like also a big priority, I decided to put lights literally inside of the lake just to light up the, you know, the entire coaster pretty much. And also, someone in my last episode of Verdalia Park mentioned that they think the unthemed train really looks like a timberliner, and I actually fully agree, and I didn't really realize. And I don't know what, I think I said it was a gravity group in the last video, but I think I'm gonna classify it as a timberliner, and I think it really makes sense. So thank you to the Lightning One Out for that idea. I don't know if I just completely butchered your name, but thank you so much for that idea. Then I had to light up the entire Wild Mouse coaster, which is pretty easy because I kind of just placed the lights under the track, and it pretty much lit up the entire track. So yeah, it worked out. And then I kind of start making sure everything is lit up, and I light up the small details that I want to be able to be seen at night. Then after I'm done with that, I decided, since I figured the camera was kind of in a weird spot at the brake run, I moved it to this spot right in front of the outside dining area. And I figured it'd be a better spot because you get nice airtime on that specific hill right there, and I don't know, everyone can see the picture being taken when they're on the path, so I think that's a kind of a cool idea. And since Frontier decided to add on-ride camera photos, if you already watched me building FireFlight in previous episodes, I made my own version of a camera and like the flashing and everything. But now that we have the real thing, I can actually replace it and have it actually take real photos. So that's an amazing feature to have. So I decided to change the fake one that I had and make it into the actual real one that Frontier added. So yeah. Here I decided to add some shade to the Woody Whirl coaster because I felt like there wasn't enough shade for these people. And initially I wasn't gonna provide any shade, but I was like, wait, that's mean. That's like straight up mean. So I gave them some pergolas on this part of the queue just because I know it's terrible to burn in the sun. And yeah, I had this guy float for some reason. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, he was just floating. Then after that, I pretty much just add some details that make the park feel, or this area feel, fuller. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, that is pretty much the end of this episode. This is a pretty long episode, so I apologize. But there's so much to include, so I had to add it all. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it, as usual. And yeah, I hope you all liked this episode, and I hope you liked the fully finished Verdalia Grove area, because this is like the final. This is the final. I'm done with this area now, so let me know what y'all think in the comments. I hope y'all like it, because I'm actually pretty proud of it myself. Not to be like, you know, not to be annoying, but I am a fan of this area. I like it very much, so let me know what y'all think in the comments, and let me know what things to add, like some ideas for new areas. I already have one in mind. I'll share it later on. I have one in mind for the next area of this park, but yeah, I guess stay tuned for more, I guess, and let's see what happens. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time. And I'm gonna show some cinematics now.